Welcome back, everybody, to the Aaron's High Cap Adventure Radio program. It is October 6, 2018, and we are here now with my special guest. Welcome to the show. Well, thanks. Appreciate it. It's just me, everybody. Just me. No guest today, just me. I had some things I wanted to go over, and I was reading the paper, and I saw, first thing, I saw a cartoon. It shows the donkey, the Democratic, what do you call it? The Democratic role model, I guess, or the symbol for Democrats. And here it is. And the buttons, this guy's wearing buttons all over. It says, I believe Christine Blasey Ford. I believe Trump is Putin's puppet. I believe in 63 genders. I hear conservative dog whistles. I believe fake news. I believe Elvis is alive. I believe in the tooth fairy. And the reason I wanted to talk about that is because it's like they care about their agenda. They don't care about what this country's all about. They'll make up anything just to win. It's crazy. And I believe it should be done based on merit. They're bringing in, everybody does it, but it just seems right now with all that's going on in politics in the world, whatever they can do to disrupt the system, they're doing it. And I saw this cartoon and it just classified it and encapsulated it, what I was thinking. So I just wanted to put that out there. Then right next to it, there was a letter to the editor, and I wanted to read that. This is the letter to the editor. It was in the September 30th telegram. My mind is exactly that, my mind, and I shall make all determinations based upon my own knowledge and experience. I believe that there is a tremendous battle currently being waged to control our minds, and many people do not realize it, and most don't even care. It probably is most consequential. This battle is being waged by the major media, both televised and printed. It even is pervasive at the local level, whereby local news programs and newspapers rely too heavily on major corporate sources, and I totally agree with that. Instead of local papers doing their own news, they're just copying a heck of a lot of AP and UPI news. That was me talking. Back to the opinion piece. Look at all the examples of orthodox accounts that have already fallen apart or are falling apart, yet still maintained and pushed by the major media. Remember the attack on the Liberty, Iraq weapons of mass destruction, Benghazi, Syria chemical weapons, attacks, Russia collusion, the downing of Flight MH17 and others. Don't be distracted from the importance of the declassification of all relevant documents by less important reports. Corporate media's existence is at stake. Journalist Paul Pilger wrote, established journalism has shifted far from its traditional ideals of nonpartisan, objective reporting and is instead vying for your mind to enlist it in its agenda to promote America's interest abroad or one party or the other at home. Is the corporate media losing this battle, or are you not paying enough attention to have accepted their narratives and agendas? Do not allow them to win this battle for your mind. That was from Noel S. Cowling in Temple. And it's true. I make this comment all the time. The news is not the news anymore. The news is becoming an opinion-based television show. They definitely have agendas. I mean, if you can't see it, you're blind. They have an agenda. They want it to go one way. And, I can't blame them as a business. They're a business, and they got an idea. But their journalism is at stake. They're using a platform that's supposed to be factual and turning it, twisting it, watering it down to make it fit their agenda. And it's just not good. It's warping people's minds. And I put blame on the people who listen to it, who don't go to other sources to confirm it. And I'll give you a perfect example. If I watch something or someone and listen to them speak, and I'm there from start to finish of what they're talking about, and then I go to read about it or listen to it in the news, there is opinionated comment put into the news that makes what is said at the particular moment from this politician get twisted to be believed in a certain manner than it was actually designed or said by that politician. And they do it on purpose. And so the people listening start getting a tainted view of what the actual politician was saying. And so I blame the media for twisting it, and I blame the people who listen who don't go to a different source check it out and confirm it. So when I see that and I watch him personally and then I hear it in the news, I say, wait a minute, you're not correct. You're twisting it. And when I see that repetitively done, I lose total faith and trust in those establishments that are giving the news. What's their agenda? So I go to alternative news. And if I see it live and they report it and it's accurate to what I see, I'm like, well, these guys are telling it the way it was. So I start going away from the mainstream media and I start looking at alternative media. But I got to check alternative media as well. You just can't be one of these people who just hear bullet points and say, well, that's the way it is. You got to do your homework. You can't be ignorant to the situation. And when I was reading this opinion piece, it kind of made me want to talk about it, especially with the picture of that donkey there. All right. The other thing I wanted to read here, the headline reads, Temple man charged in Cameron shooting. Now, what I'm going to read to you about, a couple of guys, they're not from Cameron, but it happened here in Cameron. It just tells you the kind of people that could be right next to you at a moment's notice. Police searching for second suspect still on the run. Cameron. A Temple man was in custody Tuesday and another one was on the run from the Cameron Police Department after September 13 execution-style shooting of a Calvert man, police said. Artorius Williams, 21, otherwise known as Little Man, is currently in custody in the Milam County Jail. No bond was set for Williams according to the jail officials. James Roy Whitfield, 24, also known as Snoopy, is still on the run and described as dangerous by Cameron Police Senior Sergeant Chris Stringer. The two men are alleged shooters of Keelan Williams, 28, of Calvert. Williams was shot in the head after a gun and drug deal went bad, according to the news release. Both suspects are charged with aggravated robbery. The victim and Artorius Williams are not related, Stringer said. Keelan Williams was taken to the Baylor Scott and White Medical Center in Temple as critical to condition, but he was responsive at the scene. He was in stable condition. At about 2:40 p.m. on September 13th, Cameron Police Chief Lonnie Gosh, Sergeant Anthony Mascunas, and Officer Amanda Duncan went to an aggravated robbery report in the 1600 block of North Crockett Street. An investigation determined that Whitfield and Artorius Williams went to Cameron to meet Keelan Williams. During that meeting, Keelan was reportedly robbed by the two suspects, according to the witnesses. Artorius shot Keelan in the head execution style. Now, do I really care about bad people if they get arrested? No. What I'm trying to say is you've got these people with this mindset, this willingness to execute somebody in the back of their head. Who's to say if you came up to them and rubbed them wrong in some way and they don't pull out a gun and cap you in the back of the head? So you need to be vigilant. You need to be aware of your surroundings. You need to have a safe distance from people if you can in a crowded area so you have some response time. And if you don't, be paying attention to who's around you, what's going on. Okay, don't have tunnel vision and not paying attention to your surroundings. So I want to read that. It can happen right here in your backyard. We got people walking around our backyards, not literally, but in our cities and our towns, who have this attitude of disrespect of life. They don't care. They'll cap you in a moment's notice. You got to be vigilant when it comes to that. Now, my seminars coming up. I've got a seminar coming up, and we're going to be teaching a school district a whole bunch of different methods here. I'm not going to name who it is, but I saw this article. Temple High School student arrested with a gun at school. A Temple High School student was in the Bell County Jail after he was arrested for having a gun on campus. James Godfrey, 18, was charged with unlawful carry of a firearm. A school resource officer was made aware there was a student with a possible gun on campus, the release said. The student had a gun with him. It happened pretty quickly, so it was probably about 10 minutes by the time they picked up the kid from the time it first was reported. Okay, I'm reading that because I told you at the beginning of the year, we're going to have something happen at a school. It's just inevitable. It's going to happen. And hopefully it's going to be minimized because everybody's aware, guardian programs, superintendents of school getting their teachers squared away with training. The mindset's different. Everybody's alert. Okay, so hopefully we can minimize the damage. But I just wanted to let you know, and there's the other story, I think it was just the other day, Belton schools found a student who had bomb-making materials in his bedroom, I think. And so who knows what was going to happen with that guy. So it's all around us. You got to stay alert and be vigilant, okay?